This conference will now be recorded.
So I have an idea on cloud workflow, basically on cloud, mainly on Cloud Foundry. So I currently am also trying to learn process automation and document management services and Launchpad. I mean, I'm just telling you all the services which I have learned or which I have used for a couple of POCs. But from project perspective, like I said, I have just started on BTP Neo. So yeah, the environment and everything is set up, and things have just started basically.
Okay, good, Divyans. Good to know. But I think now Neo is like absoluted in new BTP platform. So
Yeah.
okay.
But good thing about BTP Neo environment compared to Cloud Foundry, yeah, Cloud Foundry has all these frameworks. But if you really want to understand in depth, for example, we know that gap model is based upon Java or Node.js, right? So these two techniques. But if you want to understand in depth, how this gap essentially works, we know that it's based on Spring Boot, but if you don't know Spring Boot, you can essentially learn that. If you don't know IDP, you can work upon that. So basically it is little difficult, but at the same time you have basic stuff which is very much essential. I think if you want to really understand BTP and move away from typical ABAP world, and I mean, if you're talking about frameworks, definitely I don't think there is a lot of challenge in learning gap and wrap. Yes, there is a learning path, but yeah, it's ultimately a framework, right? And then you can follow those good practice techniques. So I have worked a little bit on CAP also, but mostly for POC purposes.
Okay.
So basically, the current client is on BTP Neo because of data centers.
Okay, fine, Divyans. Hi, Goldie. So, guys, who is speaking? So, please use your proper headphone. Your voice should be very clear so that everyone will hear you properly. Yeah. Yes, Goldie. Yeah, please.
Audible now?
Yes, audible.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Hers.
Hello, this side Harsh Villore.
Yeah, Hers. So, please let us know about it.
I have been from last 3 years in ABAP, and I have core implemented end-to-end process, and right currently working in uh, domestic as well as international clients on support ABAP.
Okay, fine. Tim, we have to say about only BTP, like what we are learning in BTP. So in introduction, that thing only like people is interested to hear. In BTP, what we know. Okay. Hi, Jess. So in BTP, what you know? Can you let us know?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey, this is John here. Been working in SAP space for over 20 years. Haven't worked much on BTP, but I worked on one component, SAP IRPA, but that's just a component on BTP, but not necessarily on BTP as such. So, just trying to understand how I could get my hands wet on BTP. That's why I'm here.
Okay, nice to know. Hi, Nilesh. Hi, Om Prakash. Priyanka.
Hey, hi, Ranjit. This is Om Prakash.
Okay. Yes.
Eh, actually, I'm also an SAP consultant. Has been working in SAP for a long time. But my company, which I'm working full time right now, they are getting into the BTP, but we are still in the very initial phase right now. So it's still evaluation going on. So I just wanted to learn as much as I can right now. So I just saw that message, then I thought, okay, let me join, at least learn some basic. So
Team,
nothing.
first of all, this session is for open discussion regarding BTP. So from the day one when group is created, so I am saying everyone has to prepare something so that everyone will learn from each other. Here is nothing to attend and just listen everyone. Maybe this
Yeah,
is rude to anyone, but yes, the starting is the day first when group is created. So I am only saying to prepare something so that you will say something about BTP, what you are learning, and everyone will say about it. So together we will learn here. Anyway, hi Priyanka.
Hello. Yeah, hi. Hi, everyone.
Yes, Priyanka. So can you tell us about your BTP journey?
So actually, I'm very new to BTP. In my current organization, I'm working on MDG and S/4HANA implementations, but on BTP, I don't have much experience. I'm learning it all on myself by taking some course on Udemy or following this Learn SP.
Okay, nice. We will give you time to speak on it. It's just a quick introduction. Then I will let you know what I have learned it. Then Mr. Interested person can share their screen or they can speak. Hi Venkat.
Hi Ranjit. Hello everyone. This
Yeah.
is Venkat.
Mhm.
I have been in SAP space for 15 years. I have been
Mhm.
working on the S4 on-premise projects. Basically, I have been
Okay.
leading and worked on the HANA projects, S4 HANA.
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
very new to BTP. I
Mhm.
recently joined this group. I theoretically know about RAP model and CAP model. I
Okay.
haven't get make my hands dirty yet.
Okay.
So going
Okay.
forward, definitely, yeah, definitely, I would be sharing
Yeah.
something about BTP.
Okay, okay. Hope everyone understand the purpose of this call and purpose of group. Okay. Then guys, I have already shared my screen. So I am starting. So anyone will find that yes, he can add some more value, any more points. So please welcome. Please unmute yourself and please speak on that. Okay. Okay, guys. So as you can see my screen, so here we will see in BTP, what does mean RAP model, CAP model. Okay, so many things are coming in our mind. Even SAP is introducing so many things. So BTP earlier, like we know, SAP introduced a cloud platform earlier. So earlier we were saying it SAP Cloud platform. So now it is BTP only. So in BTP they have provided a RAP model, CAP model. Okay. So RAP model basically is when RAP model they are saying so something is on premise. On premise, I think everyone knows that in S/4HANA we are creating CDS views or data services and this CRUD operation. So RAP model basically means on-premise and CAP model means cloud application-based development. Okay. So in RAP model, generally we have some steps. So first of all, we need to create table, and on the base of that table, we need to create projection CDS view, and then we need to create a root CDS view. And on the base of that root CDS view, we are creating behavior definition. In behavior definition, we are creating CRUD operation like create, update, delete. And then we are implementing that behavior definition. So there we are writing our code as per the requirement, and then we are defining the services, means OData creation, then binding, publishing, and then in Fury side we are consuming it. So in just 6 steps you can define wrap model, but yeah, in depth there are so many things. Okay, so I have I will share some things. Just a second. And in cap model, okay, I will explain little differences between wrap and cap. Then we will see some example. Okay, so in cap model, generally we have a business studio, Cloud Foundry. These are the runtimes: Cloud Foundry, Kaima. Then language wise, if we will discuss, there is Node.js, JavaScript. So basically this knowledge is required. So if you can see my screen. So generally we have SAP has provided us this trial account. So everyone can create trial account. Okay. So we have a global account associated with this trial account. So this is the BTP screen. Okay. The difference between trial account and any company project based account is that in the there can be more than one global account. In global account there can be so many services provided by SAP, because that is the paid services, but it is a trial account. So here there will be some limited services. So if anyone are looking first time this screen, so first of all we can go on HANA trial account and we can create our account there, and then in trial home you can see this all the apps available, all the services available by SAP. So we have so many tutorials available here. So one by one, which is relevant to you, so you can go and you can complete it by yourself. So here you can see BTP ABAP environment, CDS view data model. So in Eclipse, you can create your ABAP on cloud project, and there you can define your wrap model. Okay. So generally we need to create dev spaces, and every development within these spaces. So development, quality, and production, 3 kind of spaces you need to create in for the BTP development. So this is the structure of a wrap model. So generally, first of all, we need to create a CDS view, projection CDS view, you can say, on the top of database table. So it is a good example I have found. There are lots of example on Google. So see, first of all, we are creating table. Yeah? Okay. So for this wrap development, CDS view knowledge is a must. Okay? If you are totally new to CDS view, then please go with some basic example. So this all development we need to do in Eclipse only. So in Eclipse, you can create table first. Suppose in your project there is some requirement to create some sales data report. So in sales we know that we have a header and item tables. So this is the example based out of sales report. So for VVAC and VWAP tables are created, and on the top of this table, we need to create first CDS projection view, and then we need to create root CDS view. Root CDS view something is for the showing the relation between header and item table. So we are creating here a root view, and on the top of root view only we are creating the behavior definition. Behavior definition means as from what behavior you need to define its purpose. For what purpose you are defining it. So in behavior definition, CRUD operation come create, update, delete. Okay. So this is come under behavior definition part, and for any definition we have an implementation part, just a oops concept. So after defining it, we need to just in Eclipse when you will create it. So on right click, so first of all you will create table, and on the base of that table you will create CDS view, and on the top of that CDS view you will create a root CDS view on clicking of right click. Okay, and then on clicking of right click you need to create behavior definition, and then yes, anyone want to add some point here? Okay, then
Ranjit, it's a concept of like BOPF in S4HANA, right?
yeah, it is similar to BOPF, but in BTP that terms is BOPF is not more. Okay, so
Okay.
behavior definition is on place of BOPF, because earlier when BOPF was introduced, guys please request backend noise not accepted. Time is very important for everyone. Okay, so in previous, so when SAP introduced BOPF, so for BOPF in backend there were so many BO objects need to bind created. So SAP has introduced this behavior definition, and if you are using the new version of S4 HANA, so already they have introduced this wrap model itself. It is not necessary that if you are working on BTP environment only, then you can create this wrap model. So wrap model is available on a web more than 7.5 version. Okay. So same like BOPF here, create, update, delete. So these are the
And just
definitions.
to
Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry. Yeah, like what Ranjit was saying. So RAP is
Mm,
applicable for on-premise. I mean, you can do BOPF also, but
mm,
RAP is preferred. Especially you
mm,
would have seen that if you have to integrate your OData service, sorry,
mm,
if you want to push your project to Git with
mm,
BOPF based
mm,
implementation, it's simply not possible. And with
mm,
ABAP Git, you would have heard about ABAP Git, right? So
mm,
I mean, because its RAP based model is all code based, right? Previously, we used to
mm.
have BOBXT code, and it was not very much compatible with the BAPKit. So that is one more
Right.
advantage
Mm,
compared to your BOPF based programming approach. And then
mm,
in cloud,
mm.
like you have must have heard side by side and in-app extensibility, correct? So if you're
Correct.
talking about side by side extensibility, and
Mm,
if you want to go for a WAP environment, then RAP is the only possible option. Yeah.
yeah.
Now there is
Yeah.
also one more thing coming up, which
Mm.
SAP has officially released called embedded steampunk. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
which will be the game changer.
Mm,
So there also in embedded steampunk you have to go for wrap. I mean, if you're an
mm,
web developer, right? So what will happen is
mm,
instead
mm,
of, because not every, you must have at least what I've experienced, that not many
mm,
customers are willing to go for a web environment on cloud because it's very expensive. This is what
mm,
I have seen. But
mm,
at the same time, so SAP
mm,
wants it to, I mean, S4 cloud is the future, right? And SAP wants
mm,
to become a number one cloud company, yeah, at least in the ERP space. So in the ERP
mm,
space, we want to become a fully cloud company. So, now they have given one more option called embedded steampunk, in which you will again use a wrap model, but you are doing that extension on your S4 stack. Like in an S4 on-premise, you do the extension right there only, right? You don't go for BTP platform. So that is the idea. So I think when you have to, I mean, there might be some confusion when to go for embedded steampunk and when to go for
That.
basically wrap environment in cloud. So
Mhm.
both of these can have wrap approach, but
Mhm.
it's you who will have to decide if you have to, let's say you are building an Ariba extension, you are building a SuccessFactors extension, you are building a field glass extension, right? This is where
Mhm.
BTP platform as such comes into a lot of picture, right? So in that
Right.
case, you will go for a BAP environment on cloud. But if
Mhm.
you are on S4 cloud, then you can still go for embedded steampunk and use the same wrap model. Just to add that, this is the
No, no,
way
good.
SAP is pushing.
Yeah, right. Totally agree, and really appreciated. And so the concept you understand that the purpose of this call is to add points from your side because everyone is on same boat.
Yeah.
Everyone is learning here. So good, yeah. Please, other participants, please add some points from you because we having same experience. I think everyone. Okay. Okay, fine. So yes, true. If SAP will introduce that, so that will be a game changer because the like money perspective, client always think that which will be good option for us, which will be good option for our project. So definitely, whatever the client will choose and SAP will provide, so that we need to adopt. But you know that we need to do learning whatever the SAP is introducing in market. Okay, so here, like in behave after behavior definition, we will implement it. So same like BOPF class method, uh, it will like provide you the option to write your code. Okay, so this all we are doing in Eclipse only. Okay, so same like class methods, AMDP class, we need to implement our logic, and then again we need to define these services, means OData services. I'm not going with these all codes. So after doing all the coding part, you need to define your business service, means OData service, and then you need to bind it. Hey, look, like this folder will create service binding, service client model, service definition here in your same CDS view, in which package you are creating that. Generally, when you will create a, you will develop this BTP project like wrap model in your Eclipse. So generally, in local package, SAP has provided you to create your own package, and you can develop your own logic. So like this, you will find one folder, and inside that you will find your CDS behavior definition, services definition detail, and like this, this syntax will come for exposing the your services.
Okay.
And finally, you will get button to publish it. And once you will publish it, so same like earlier through any CDS when you are using OData publish true annotation. So after creating activation of these services, you are providing the link to the Fury consultant. So same like that service URL you will get, and with the help of service URL, you can consume it in Fury Launchpad.
Like it would be a REST call, right? All the time.
Yeah, REST call. It is a REST call only.
Hmm.
Then
So
CAP
OData
model.
is,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah,
Yes.
I mean, yeah, so REST model, see, OData is also REST based protocol, right? So
Yeah.
OData,
Right.
and I mean, the advantage with OData, as you might know, right, in that it's all metadata driven. But with the rest, you have to go for something known as open API specification. You can have your basically metadata. You say these are the field, these are the properties of those fields, this is my entity, right? So you can have the same thing done on REST also, but it is just that with OData, it's pretty easy to have, your metadata defined.
Right, right. Because your
And
data
mhm.
is like very much friendly for the Fury environment.
Yes, so I mean, so those of you who know Fury, we typically go for smart controls, correct? So if you have smart controls, you must have a smart filter bar, smart table, right? So all these Fury controls or Fury components, they are very much compatible, not to say compatible, but they make advantage of your OData metadata. For example, you say for example, in this also, right, in behavior definition, you say my this field is, create enabled, right? Correct. So the smart controls, they automatically understand. So that
Correct.
is, why SAP is going for database metadata, because the Fiori controls, the way SAP has designed, they are very much compatible with metadata. So all those annotations which you write, ultimately they get converted into OData annotations, right? You must have heard
Yeah, like
code
these
annotation,
annotations
UI
will be.
annotations. Yeah, all those annotations, they get translated into underlying OData based vocabularies. Yeah. So for example, in CAP also, when Ranjit will show, so there are equivalent annotations, right? So essentially the syntax will change, but eventually everything will result into OData based, standard Microsoft OData based annotations. Yeah. So that is the power of metadata and annotations. We have something as annotation model which gets created. So if you consume that Fiori elements, it works just like magic.
But anyone, please add some points. We will see some uh, cap
Yeah, and
model
I
as
think
well.
that Ranjit, was this a managed or unmanaged? Sorry, I couldn't
Yeah,
follow it
managed
completely.
and unmanaged. This concept is like very famous. So generally for unmanaged, we are doing development because managed is something
Yeah,
like comes under the standard part. Okay. So for the greenfield implementation where we are doing development, so generally we are doing unmanaged scenario.
yeah, correct. Especially if you are building it on S4, you will have your BAPIs and RFCs, so you can always go for, unmanaged.
Right.
But I would highly
Ranjit,
advise not to directly jump to RAP or CAP. Yeah, things might go other way around. So, I know this is maybe Ranjit wanted to show you an overview so that you will get motivated. But I highly advise you to start learning the, BTP onboarding tutorials. So, on YouTube, you can also find cloud platform onboarding tutorials. That will really help you, in understanding the concepts, right? Because it's not just about OData development, correct? BTP is not just about creation of service, correct?
Mhm.
Cloud
Correct.
data service. It's about leveraging what all services you have. You want to schedule a job, there is service for that. You want to store your attachment, there is service for that. You want to trigger a workflow, there is service for that. For essentially whatever you used to do in your ISAF based approaches, there is an equivalent service available on BTP. So I mean, what I did personally was I didn't learn these frameworks initially. Yeah, because you want to learn frameworks, right? Definitely. But if you want to really understand, you have to go through, what is a service, what is a service instance, what is a service binding, what are service keys, right? So that will help you in learning any service. And then, all these frameworks will be a piece of cake.
Right, right. Actually, BTP is just like framework platform here. So, like in cloud, whatever the available services introduced by SAP, so that's all comes under BTP environment. So, from basic point of view, you need to first of all learn this CDS is the very important key for RAP or CAP model. So, CDS is a very important key. So, please go through some CDS concept first, and
And
then Yeah, step by step you can move here.
Yeah, but I mean, either there are two paths. Either you start with the basics and then go for wrap or cap, or you do the other way around. If you are if you're going what I did personally, that will help you a lot in understanding because I know that workflow service we have workflow service on Cloud Foundry, right? Now that is also getting slightly, I would say, I mean, deprecated, so to say. SAP is pushing for process automation, right? There is a learning journey for that also. So SAP is, let's say if you know workflow service, you can learn, process automation. So SAP is trying to go for smarter ways, but if you don't have the basic understandings, it will essentially, let's say even if you give your app service, right? Let's say, right, and you will not really understand who is using my service, correct? And then the clients, what they will ask, hey, I can do this on on-premise, right? Why the hell should I go for your wrap environment on the cloud, correct? He will say, I'll build it on premise, right? So BTP has its own use cases. So there is a site called Discovery Center. Yeah. So if you go there, you can check the missions and just go through those missions. They are brilliant. It will also show you. Maybe Ranjit, maybe we can show that also.
Yeah. So before that, please, other one want to add some point. So please add.
Yeah.
Ranjit, I would like to understand in
Yeah.
OData we have a QCRUD, right? So I could see here CUD only. So the read part, query part wasn't there. Whether it is in CDS views, whether you use BOP annotations or any kind of operation, QCRUD basically. So in this wrap model, no, this query and read were not there. So I'm trying to understand it. What exactly the
Uh,
difference?
okay. Earlier in BOPF we have annotations, right? But here we have on a place of BOPF we are using the behavior definition part. So CRUD operation comes
Yes.
under that automatically when you will define the behavior definition for root CDS view. So automatically you will find the syntax as predefined: create, delete, update. This thing will come by default.
Mhm. Mm. Okay.
So when you will implement it, so then you will get the screen of this class script. So there you need to write this logic like this. Earlier, like BOPF,
Yeah, understood.
on the help with the help of annotations, we created the BO objects, BO classes in backend.
Yeah.
Same
Yes.
like that here we have a behavior definition and implementation part for putting our
Okay.
coding. So I will suggest you can create the trial account or trial means with the help of trial account you will, just a second, I am showing you the path how you can use it in your Eclipse. So everyone having Eclipse on his system. So for the login part, you don't need to worry. So SAP has already provided us in trial part. When you will go in your trial account,
Mhm.
I am I'm showing you some path. It will help you to add client detail in your Eclipse. So in Booster, we have a ABAP instance available.
Mhm.
Okay. So first of all, you need to prepare an account for ABAP trial. You need to start it. When you will start it, so with respect to your email ID, it will create service key. Look, it is creating your quotas service instances. So instance and service key, you have two options. So in Eclipse, while creating the ABAP on cloud project, it will actually, right now Eclipse is not available here. So I'm not able to show you, but you can you can find some documents on Google as well. So from after doing these steps, you can add the credential detail in your Eclipse path. So that is free of cost, trial for 30 days. And there you can develop your CDS view, wrap model, these things you can create there. So you can have some like hands-on with the help of some documents available. You can create table in your Eclipse side, and then you can create the CDS view, and then definition part, implementation part, then service mapping, everything you will find there. So it will help you. So in this session, like I'm just giving you overview. If you are new or any other one is new, so first of all, on trial account, you need to create your account, and then step by step you will get the options to select the AWS, our backend database provider, and there you will find this kind of option menu, and here you can go on ABAP trial. You can select so many options available here. You need to create a space first, and then like this I have created a space, and inside that I can able to use this business application studio. So I have done some hands-on on cap model as well. I have created some application, because if you are using SAP BTP platform, so separately you don't need to download Cloud Foundry environment, because Cloud Foundry is the open source and it is a runtime. Okay, so we have a Cloud Foundry, Kaima, so many we have a runtime environment available. So earlier when BTP was not there, so separately we required to download Cloud Foundry. So right now in BTP like platform, SAP has introduced everything here. So you don't need to worry about Cloud Foundry as well. You need to just go here. You need to create your application here. Here is so many example available. So you can go and try by yourself. We can copy the project from Git project, and then you can import. While importing the file, generally YML and MTA file generated. Finally, this is the last stage. If in this group having some experience on cap model, so please give us some idea
Yeah,
on that.
yeah, like basically, again, you will understand CAP if you know a little bit of JavaScript, like what Ranjit was saying.
Yeah.
So in CAP, what happens is, see, essentially you're building your backend service, right? It doesn't matter wrap or CAP. In CAP, the good thing, which I like a lot, it's a multi-target application. So what Ranjit was mentioning, mtar file, right? So basically, you take any example, let's say you say Google Map, right? We all use Google Map, right? So basically, most of the times you will search for a location, right? So, but you will not really like to go there, right? And so that is how some services you do use a lot, some service you don't use a lot, right? So you can increase the resources for some of the services. So in multi-target application, you create your services, individual microservices, which you can scale up or scale down as per the requirement. Let's say today you have 1,000 users who are using your app, but let's say tomorrow it increases to 10,000, right? So your one service will not be able to serve all of those 10,000 end users, correct? So then that is a idea of having CAP or some sort of a platform where you can actually leverage microservices. Yeah, see, it actually depends upon the developer skill, but if you're talking in term good things about CAP, not so good things about RAP. I would say CAP follows multi-target application like anything. So let's say you want to add a workflow service, you want to make use of process automation, you want to consume third-party REST services. So all such possibilities are definitely there in CAP. And underlying, if you're going for CAP service, there is basically Node.js. If you're going for Node.js based, there is a popular framework called Express. Okay, so I will not really like you directly start learning CAP, rather first learn Express and then learn CAP. That is a journey. And once you have learned CAP, you will understand how the microservices are built. And then you can deploy it. So CAP also has a Java-based implementation. So in Java, like I was mentioning, I'm working on BTP Neo, so now I understand how CAP based, which is based upon Java, how does that work? So underlying it basically works upon Spring Boot, which is a very popular framework. Yeah. So it's your choice which underlying runtime, sorry, not runtime, which underlying CAP based language you want to go for. If you know UI5, I would say go for Node.js. But if at all you want to, if you don't want to learn JavaScript and a little bit of Java, then you can also go for CAP based upon Java. So good thing about write JavaScript, I really some people like this language, some people really don't like, because JavaScript is little bit
So
it will give you error on runtime.
Divyans,
It
one
will give
thing
you
like Java is script we are using, as I know. So Java is also we need to
yes.
learn, or Java is script only,
No.
because there is
It is
difference
it
between
no
Java.
no no. Yes. Yeah. So Java is pretty much open industry based language, right? Every other developer you found in the market knows Java, right? So what SAP wanted was to give both of the flavors. It's up to the developer skill. So in fact, there is no comparison. SAP is not pushing for CAP or RAP. It's up to developer skill. But those who know UI5, they can easily learn CAP. But those who know ABAP, they can learn RAP. That is the idea. But again, if you want to go for microservices architecture with CAP, you can do that.
Right.
Goldie this side.
Yeah, Goldie.
Uh, can I get 5 to 7 minutes so I can share my screen and get the
Yeah,
learning track here for everyone?
please. Welcome. We have 15 participants, but only 2 or 3 is speaking only. Guys, please speak something.
Yes, I would highly advise you to, learn RAP because that is the future.
I
And
can
if you want to understand BTP in depth, at least, guys, nowadays everybody wants to be a full stack developer, right? Especially with all the frameworks around. It's very easy to learn UI5, Fury, Node.js, CAP. I have personally learned, I was also into a app. Then I started learning all of these things. And yeah, that is how, if you want to command a lot of money, if you want to really have, you want to move to architecture role, right, one day down the line, right, after 13, 14 years or maybe 17 years, right? Nobody would like to just code, right? Would like to move into architecture. That is where, all the skills will help you.
Right. Guys, one question, if anyone knows, like I know that in a spaces we can create development, quality, and production. So after doing the development of app on development space, in quality space we are sending its file, right, or TR,
Mhm. Yeah.
because that part I have not worked.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, I
how
mean,
we are moving
mhm. Yeah. So there
from.
is at least on three. Again, it's just a deployment of MTAR file. Okay.
Mhm.
If you're talking about CAP or any, if you have built some complex application which has many microservices, so it's MTAR which will get moved from your development space to quality space. Yeah.
No, so
So
how
there is
means
also very
with the
popular.
help of
Mhm.
with the help of with the help of file only, right? There is no any TR
With the help
or.
of there is not okay. If you want to, you can do it manually, first option, yeah, but there is also a CI/CD service, okay,
Okay.
on Cloud Foundry. So if you use CI/CD service, it supports CAP and Fury. Maybe it will also come in future for RAP. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, currently it's for CAP and Fury. Open source base, it's completely supports it. So it is a
Mhm.
pre-delivered pipeline which you can use, and then you just need to. Okay, so basically, what will happen is CI/CD is more of a Jenkins server, right? Which will build your project and then it will deploy. Yeah, but if you have to build, deploy, and then move, right? That is a real-time thing, right? You build, build, run your unit test, deploy, and then move it, right? If everything goes fine, correct? That is the idea. So you use
Mhm.
CI/CD service. Along with it, there's one more service called CTM, Cloud Transport Management. Okay.
Mhm.
So cloud transport management is as good as your ECC or S4 landscape. You create your nodes, okay, corresponding to your development quality and production spaces or server accounts, however you have configured. So it just needs to have 1:1 mapping, and then you can move your objects from one space or sub account to another via CI/CD plus CTM. So they both play their role hand in hand. But again, it it depends. If you want to do it manually, it's very much possible. No issues.
Okay, good. Any other one? Please add some points. Smriti, Venkat, Priyanka.
Ranjit, can you please make me presenter?
Yeah, sure, sure. Give me a second. Yes, now you are presenter. Yes, we can see your screen.
They can see me. Okay. So entire screen is visible
Yeah, visible, Goldie. Visual.
till the solution part. One second, I'm sharing again.
Your screen is shared. We can
Okay.
we was able to see, but now it lost. Yeah, now again it's coming.
Now, okay. So I had done some research as Ranjit had
Okay.
suggested everyone to include some points. So what I had discovered that we can use the business application studio, how to utilize that as a different, because we are might be coming from the different technologies, and might be we are working on web development in Java, Node.js, and workflow, chatbots, different type of technologies we are working on right now, or might be we want to learn the different part also. So they are currently what I had discovered, the three types, the entire BS currently divided into the three portfolios. We can say that the development, integrations, and the solutions which are already provided by the SAP and the BTP. So, as an developer, if I know that I am a web technical consultant, and what technical objects I have to work upon, or if I have to work on BTP, and what things I need to learn. So, what would be the development framework for, and what would be the learning track for that? What objects I need to learn? What technology I need to learn? What platform I need to use to achieve the particular required business requirement on the BTP side. So, first part I can share with the application development. If another aspect of application development, if we are using, if we are creating the scratch apps or the new fresh applications, or the another part of the extended applications. In the part of scratch applications, we have 3 points. We are creating only the user interface, like Fiori applications, front end applications, only front end part, not the back end part. So for that, we should take care of the Fiori, UI5, JavaScript, and XML. We should know these type of these concepts to developing the UI5 applications. This is one of the track. The second track, if as an BW consultant or BI consultant, I want to deploy some my certain applications and certain services to BTP. Then what would be the objects that I need to be taken care? The calculation views I have to develop, access in access services, architecture services, Node.js, and the access OData, HDI connectors. These are the particular points that we need to be taken care. At least these points, they are the bare minimum. These are the first and the second database record. Assume in Scratch we need to be create a entire custom application only for the BTP. We don't have to use any backend on-prem application, on-prem server, on-prem database, nothing. We don't have to use anything. And we had a requirement, we have to create a new Scratch application only on the BTP track base. Then there's three options we have right now: the web-based applications, Java-based, and the Node.js.
Node.js based applications. ABAP, again, if you are going for the ABAP developments, then Ranjit has already discussed the RAP model, which is the architecture that we need to utilize to create our applications and get it deployed onto the BTPs. For CDS, OData, and using along with the, yes, Fiori is the front end part. For that, we need separate JS and XML part. We should know aware of that. Along with that, RAP, only then we can develop a full stack application as an developer. If I'm coming from the Java background, then what needs to be taken care? CAPM model, same for the Node.js and the Java. CAPM model is mandatory for both the parts. If we are developing using this, otherwise the Spring Boot, Olinga, and the four Node.js, Express, and the HANA, like HANA extensions, or what I can say, HANA YAML dot files, dot YAML files, that type of formats that we needs to be taken care. Along with these are the only services which helps us to developing the applications. Along with these developing options, there are multiple services which needs to be taken care, like security services, like authorization services, like connection and disconnection services. They are the separate services which needs to be taken care. But in ABAP, if we are going with the RAP model, only the connection and disconnection services needs to be taken care. But and the authorization and the data services and the disconnection services, that automatically will take care by the BTP. But for Java and Node.js, we have to design, or we have to utilize the API hub, which is already API hub provides the documents of services which all APIs are available. The services are available that we need to consume onto our application and we need to utilize. This is one of the part for the scratch application. If we are going for the extended applications, and extension means we are existing applications that we are going to change or modify or enhancing some functionalities. It could be with framework or without framework. Framework means we are using the existing platform, existing architecture, like RAP architecture or CAPA architecture we are using it. Then in that case, if we are using RAP architecture, then we can use the RAP platform and RAP designing solution and designing guidelines, and we can work on it. Along with that, the cloud SDK is the mandatory part. Cloud SDK, we need RAP. We are using RAP, then SDK, cloud SDK is required for CAPM model. Cloud SDK is again required. Plus, along with the API hub services, that would play a bigger role because the services are getting extension. So again, the APIs will be extended also. If we are going the without framework, we are not using RAP model, or we are not using the CAP model, then we are free to use the different type open source languages like Java, Node.js, Python, and we are free to use the cloud SDK for that. So they are independent from the SAP recommended frameworks. This is the application. If I say I had a knowledge of Python, so which track we needs to how to achieve the BTP application, I can create a BTP application. So I can use I can create my application into the BTP platform in BAS, and then I can use my Python programming using the cloud SDK software development kit. I can deploy my applications and start working on it. If I am a developer, then I can start with the CDS part. I can define my RAP model. I can deploy my RAP using the HANA Cloud Indicator, HANA Cloud Connector to the BTP to BAS application. And then if I have to develop front end also, then I will develop a Fiori front end application. We establish a connection between both backend and front end, and I can deploy my applications onto the business application and onto different servers. This is basically for the developers. The second part is the integration. Integrations basically helps for the, if I say in SAP terminology, consultants role, PIPO consultants. So basically, they used to work into the cloud platform in cloud platform interchange, or I forgot the I part. Sorry, I cloud platform indicator
Integrator.
Integ
integrator.
Integrator.
Cloud
Platform
platform.
integration. Yeah, integration.
Yes. The Groovy scripts, business process management, CI/CD, CI/CD deployments, and the interesting part is the cloud workflows. Developers can also
Yeah,
develop cloud workflows, and PIPO consultants also use the integration when they define the workflows. So this is one of the second part. On top of that, along with the application deployment and the integrations, the solutions are provided, which are actually SaaS applications like Gmail. The Gmail is already provided by the Google. We are just using that. Entire architecture, entire database, entire deployment of server, all are taken care by the SAP. There are multiple things like AI, artificial intelligence, IRPA, and SAC, so SAP Analytics Cloud, along with the machine learning, Leonardo. So there are multiple aspects for the multiple aspects also. Under the category of AI, if I have want to create a chatbot for my organization, so we can utilize the existing solution, we can use the existing framework, and we can start developing our chatbots. Same for IRPA, whether it's attended or not attended, there are the simple bots for repetitive tasks, which are the underlying process of the businesses, and same for the analytics. So this is the typical learning tracks. If anyone wants to perform some activity, perform some business requirement, perform some deploy or create new applications, this is the typical architecture that the technical developers and technical consultants, they can follow, and they can start their journeys. That's all from my side.
Very nice
yeah,
presentation,
pretty
Goldie.
nice.
Really, yeah, really appreciate. Thank you. Thanks
Yeah,
for
but
adding. Yeah. Yes,
yeah, but
Divyansh.
if you see most of the stack, ABAP is a little less, so little bit worrisome side. But yeah, that's what we need to like. As SCP also says, or everyone says, we need to come with cloud mindset, right?
You
So
know,
let's
Divyansh,
not.
but for every development, like
Mhm.
CDS is the main thing for CAPM as well as RAP model.
Yes, but
So,
why I was saying that learn something apart from ABAP, because tomorrow you want to build chatbots. Tomorrow you want to
right.
build workflow. Tomorrow you want to build and you want to make use of cloud SDK. Every time framework will not help us, right? Tomorrow you want to build something, IRPA, right? AI learning algorithms. So if you know
Mm,
something apart from ABAP, any language you take, okay,
mm,
that's what I have done, because using Node.js, I can use any service, any service, you name it. I know it works in the similar way. Yeah, just give me endpoint. I'll know how to get the token and how to call that up. Yeah. So the steps are essentially going to be the same, but it is just that moment you know, moment you are confined to ABAP, you're not able to digest BTP, because if you see, BTP Neo was originally, it didn't support ABAP at all, right? And then in Cloud Foundry we have ABAP, but if you see all other services, workflow service, CI/CD service, your express-based services, document management service, you name the service, it is independent of ABAP, right? Correct? Do you think underlying technology is ABAP for implementation of these frameworks? I don't think so. I'm not into SAP, but at least I
no, no,
don't think so.
true,
Yeah,
true.
so
This is
all
true.
Yes, so all these things, we need not focus upon. I mean, acceptability, your wish, but integration, definitely we are CPI consultants. If you want to learn integration, you are very well welcome. But personally, I don't know much of integration. And one more thing, cloud workflow is actually, it's a part of extension. Yeah, so I think maybe a cloud workflow we can move it away. But yeah, that's fine. Overall, I think it's pretty much beautifully represented.
So in cloud workflow, something is different from normal GUI workflow,
Same,
or like.
Yeah, yeah, GUI workflow. Okay, I'll give you one comparison. So we
Hmm,
used to have approver determination, right? Something like that.
hmm.
So it's been long. I worked upon S4 or GUI
Like it's an
workflow, but we
agent
used to
concept.
have agent determination, right? You used to define some rules and all, correct? So
correct.
so similar way in cloud workflow, you have some apps which will where you can write your business rules. SAP calls it as manage business rules. Okay. There are some apps for, where you can assign those work items to any of these. So you have an app called manage roles and responsibilities. So things are similar, but definitely it's a lot more open source, you know.
Uh,
So
Ranjit, if I say that actually the things functionality is same, the way
Hmm.
of the way of working is totally different. Like in
yeah,
workflow and GUI based workflow, we normally use the rules to define the agent. Let's say we create a function module and assign that function module as a rule to the GUI. So we can get, but in the if I go to the cloud-based workflow, then I have to create an OData service, a particular entity, and I have to utilize the OData as a service for defining my the agents. I have to consume
yeah.
that
So
particular.
correct. So there are like I was saying, there is an app called Manage Business Rules. So it's as good as your BRF plus. So if you know BRF plus, Manage Business Rules, the same thing. Decision
Same,
table,
or we can say
fields,
the
object. It's just
cloud-based.
an cloud-based implementation, exactly, only, yeah. In cloud workflow, there's one more cool thing. You can induce your own script task. Let's say you want to write some custom small code, right? Some script kind of thing. So you can do that also in workflows nowadays. You can integrate with IRPA. I've seen some customers, they will really read your mailbox, and then, using IRP, and then they will say, okay, these are my invoices. And then there is one more service called document extraction service, which will read those invoices, convert them into JSON, then it will trigger a workflow, yeah, this cloud workflow, and then ultimately you're just posting the invoice data into your S4 system. See, everything is getting used there. IRPA, your chatbots, cloud workflow, your data
But for this
services.
AI IRPA, so many
Mhm.
API has provided by
Yes, yes,
SAP.
yes,
So
exactly. You
they,
don't need to learn AI RPA. In fact, so
yeah.
IRPA, it's more like the flow chart, yeah, in IRPA. So in robotic process, it's not really you have to learn something fancy. But for AI,
Hmm.
you have to if you want to go for custom. But definitely for chatbots also, there are some ways to create chatbots.
Yeah,
But
there
IRPA
is
is pretty
API.
simple.
Yeah, there is API also available for chatbots.
Yeah,
We need to like call that API and then need to do some Node.js code, right, for
yeah, yeah,
some
yeah. So
more validations.
maybe whoever next time, because I know these things personally, but I would highly advise you
Mhm.
next time, when we all meet, maybe one of us
Mhm.
who does not know this, he can try out and then show us, what we are saying is actually true or not. You take any service, okay? Let's say
Mhm.
take any simplistic service. I would say document service. Name any service, Ranjit, which you like a lot.
Yeah, no, Miss. Okay, Miss. In next meet, we
Yeah.
will take one example by ourselves. Completely, we will understand the like in and out, and we will explain by ourselves.
Okay. Okay.
So
That's it.
you have better idea of these things like AI, IRP, and
No, no, no,
other
I
things.
have no idea, in fact, on AI.
No. I am giving one example,
Yeah.
in which you have better idea,
Mhm.
like Goldie having if idea in cloud workflow or anything.
Mhm.
So we will take that example and we will explain all the in and out.
Mhm. Okay.
And guys, can we discuss BTP interview questions, like who have recently faced some interview questions? Can we
I
say?
think you can stop the recording then. Because I don't want to leak this out.
Okay, fine. I'm stopping recording now.
Yeah, because some things have to be confidential, right?